Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get the fire bow. Now this is a pretty simple bow to get, other than a few annoying steps. I would say it's definitely not the hardest to get. It's just, actually, you know what, scratch that, it is the hardest to get. There are more annoying ones to get, but this is definitely the hardest one to get, so make sure you guys at least have somewhat of decent knowledge on how to play the game before you go into doing this bow, because this does take some skill and practice, but eventually you guys will get it. So just to show you guys how powerful this bow actually is though, it's pretty powerful. One simple shot, boom, a horde of zombies will die. And if you're feeling like maybe this isn't powerful enough for you, well, hopefully that changes your mind. Just kills all zombies in sight. So yeah, this is a pretty powerful bow. I would say it's the second most powerful, other than it being kind of annoying to get. I'd say it's a pretty good choice for a bow. Honestly, I feel like most people would either want a storm bow or fire bow. So you know what? Let's get straight into the video on how to get this bow, because this is actually a pretty useful bow, and I think that basically anybody would like this bow. So let's get straight into the video. So first off, once you've got the Wrath of the Ancients default bow, you can now go over to the clock tower and go to the very top, up the stairs, and then where you see this little emblem of the fire staff, or nope, fire bow. Sorry, I was thinking of Origins for a sec there. But once you see the symbol of the fire bow, you can now go ahead and shoot that with the default Wrath of the Ancients bow, and out will pop this broken arrow, which you can now pick up, and you can now start the first step of the bow. So the first step of the bow is to wait for a rocket test to where both of these doors are going to close, and once they do, you have to shoot the middle part of the glowing rock. It's going to glow, and you have to hit the centerpiece that is glowing, and then it'll go flying through the air, and you have completed the first step. So I'm gonna wait until a rocket test to show you guys. So as you see, a rocket test is starting. Okay. So we have to wait for the rocket test to end. Oh, and also you guys should make sure to stay inside of the safe zone while doing this. Otherwise, you're just gonna die if you're out there, so trust me, you don't want that to happen. Anyway, the first step, as I said before, is to hit the rock, the center of the rock, as fast as you possibly can. Run out there and hit it with the rock as fast as you possibly can. Hopefully we could do the first try. Let's go. Now, as you see, we've got it in first try. Well, not first try, but yeah, you hit the rock, and now it goes flying up in the air, and it spawns the sun. And now you can go around and activate these jump pads, so you can, well, I think they're called, I don't know, maybe jump pads or launch pads or whatever, but you want to go around the map and activate the landing pads so these can be used. To activate the launch pads, you need to go to a few different locations to actually activate the launch pads. One of them is located right here. Another is located right over here, right across the bridge. Another is located straight at the spawn location, so you could just go ahead and turn that on the second you spawn into the game. And the last landing pod is located right here at the rocket test facility, right after teleporting. So there are 3 rings around the map that you have to hit with your arrow, this being one of them. But you have to go around the map and actually hit it. And funny thing is, that one's actually the hardest, so I do have a trick for it though. If you come over here, you can actually, it's a little bit easier to hit. But you see, they kind of like light on fire for a little bit. But anyway, let me help you out with this step of the fire bow. So there is a trick for one of them where you just focus on this orb, and then boom, you can hit that one almost no problem. If you mess up first try, just go back and try it again. It really isn't all that hard. the next one is over here. This is actually probably the easiest, to be honest. This is basically no problem. Just bam. That easy. So as you see, I just hit it right there. So now we can move on to the next step of doing the bow. So the next step of the fire bow is getting kills while standing inside of all these rings of fire. So just get kills and it'll collect a bunch of the zombie souls. And then when you'll know you're done when it starts floating into the air. But let me show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, right there. So it starts floating into the air and going into the sun. So you have to do that for all of the rings around the map. And then eventually you can move on to the next step of doing the bow. This is the third one. And this is actually, so after you finish the last one, it'll go flying into the sun like usual, but also at the clock tower. So you'll see what, I'll show you guys what to do after you finish this step. Okay, so yeah, it goes floating into the sun. And now you need to go over to the clock tower for the next step. Okay, so after completing all 3 rings of fire around the map, you now have to go back to the top where you started it all, and there's going to be a wheel. Once you interact with the wheel, it will show a symbol which will indicate one of 3 fireplaces around the map. There's one inside of the castle where you, there's a fireplace right in the castle, right underneath the statue. There's another right here. Yep.
No time to dwell. We must continue our work.
Yeah, Richtofen's old room. And then there's another right here. Now, I believe it's kind of hard to see on the background, but this is actually the one I got. So, you have to find the symbol and find which fireplace has that symbol. And then go to the whichever ring is lighting up, which for me, it's this one. And for this one, this is usually known to be the hardest, but it's actually not that hard. You just have to aim in between there. And then from there on out, it's pretty straightforward. Go ahead and shoot the wall.
We must locate the inscription.
And then you can go ahead and shoot the fireplace. Now, you got a limited amount of moves, so you gotta do this sparingly and try not to mess up. But you interact with the fireplace after finishing that, and then it'll put in the broken arrow pieces, and then you can move on to the next step. So if you guys actually got a different symbol, so let's see what symbol I get this time. So say for example you get a symbol like this. This is a completely different symbol, and I believe the fireplace is over there. But let me check real quick. I don't fully remember. But if you get a different symbol, there's going to be different ways to go about doing it. Okay, no, I know which one it is now. So you have to get the one in Dr. Richtofen's room, in the fireplace in there. And in order to do that, you have to go over here. This is actually the one down here. So you go down here and get, and you have to get this fireplace, which this one's actually pretty simple. You just kind of like aim forward. Oh wait, no. Aim forward, and you hit that. And then this part's pretty straightforward. You just hit this wall right here.
As far as puzzles
It'll drop down there.
Pretty elaborate.
And now the final shot you take into the fireplace. The third shot. Make sure it's still on. And then boom, you can get it in, and you can fix the broken arrow. And boom, you are now done with this one. Now there's still one more that you can do, which I'll show you guys how to do it. Now I don't actually have this available, but usually, oh yeah, this is the next step, by the way, just letting you guys know, but usually it'll be right here. All you gotta do is aim over at the flag, or even at the window. Even you aim at the window, it'll drop down there. Then you come over here, shoot like somewhere over here or something, and then you can shoot straight into the fire pit, and boom, you complete that one too. Okay, so the final step of the fire bow is to go after finishing the step with the fire pits and whatnot. You now, and the fireplace obviously, you now have to come back over to the middle and interact with the sun, and there'll be this nice little cool light show, and bam, pretty cool. And it'll also drop the reforged arrow, or the, yeah, I don't know why, you kind of have to stand a distance away for that one, that's a little weird, but anyway, you can pick that up, and now you can go down into the undercroft and place it in the little statue area that it goes in, and you can fill it up with souls and get yourself the fire bow. Okay, so now you can go over here and place the arrow in. This is where you place the arrow, and then a bunch of zombies can start coming over here. That was weird. A bunch of zombies will start coming over, and you just kill them in here. It'll take their soul, and then once it's fully filled up, you'll hear a noise, and then you interact with the machine, and it'll give you the fire bow. Okay, so right there's the noise. Now you interact with the arrow, it'll take away your bow and create the fire bow, and boom, you have successfully done the fire bow. So guys, if you found this guide helpful, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this, and click one of the 4 videos on screen if you'd like to see how to get the Wrath of the Ancients bow, or one of the other bows that I've done. So, if you've enjoyed, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.